Some more problems on the projectiles in this video. See, first is to take down this problem. A particle is projected from O at an elevation alpha. A particle is projected from O at an angle or elevation alpha, and after t seconds to have an elevation beta. After t seconds to have an elevation beta as seen from the point of projection. Prove that the initial velocity was gt cos beta divided by 2 sin alpha minus beta. I think you have taken the problem. Say the problem is like this. A particle is projected from initial point O with velocity, it is given. Let us take velocity as u. Suppose the velocity of projection is u and angle of projection is alpha. Say we start with this. U be the velocity of projection and alpha be the angle of projection. Particle is projected from O. So that after time t it reaches height, or it reaches what is given after time t seconds to have an elevation beta as seen from the point of projection. Suppose after time t, this is the position of the particle. Say P is the position of the particle after time t. Say it starts from this point O, particle starts from this point O, it is projected from O, and u is the velocity of projection, alpha is the angle of projection, so that its velocity and projection are taken so that after time t, position of the particle is P. At this point, it is to have elevation beta. This angle is beta. Prove that the velocity of projection was the initial, this what we have taken u, it is given by gt cos alpha by gt cos beta by 2 sin alpha minus beta. That is the problem. So I explain what is the problem. A particle is projected from O. We have taken u is the velocity of projection and alpha is angle of projection. It is given so that after time t, P is the position of the particle, so that this point has elevation beta. Elevation means as seen from this point O, initial point of projection, that OP makes an angle beta. Then U must be this. U must be this. To prove this, draw the perpendicular like this, and we take OP is equal to K. OP is equal to K. After time t, P be the position. P be the position of the particle such that angle POM is equal to beta. POM is beta. Let OP is equal to K. OP is equal to K. Now we take horizontal and vertical distances covered by this particle in time t. What are the horizontal and vertical distances? Horizontal distance is OM and vertical distance is PM. We have expression for this horizontal distance and vertical distance. What is the horizontal distance? If you take P as xy, horizontal distance is x, and it is given by, what is the expression for x? U cos alpha t. And what is the expression for y? U sin alpha t minus half gt square. Refer that In the derivation, everything is there. What are xy, what is dx by dt, dy by d, and so on. You refer that horizontal distance is given by but this is horizontal distance is OM is u cos alpha t and PM is u sin alpha t minus half gt square. Yes, half gt square. But what is OM? See the diagram. By using elementary trigonometry, what is OM? OM is k cos beta. K cos beta is u cos alpha t. K sin beta. PM is PM by OP is sin beta. Therefore, what is PM? PM by OP is sin beta. PM is therefore OP sin beta. OP means K. K sin beta. This is PM. So K sin beta is u sin alpha t minus half gt square. Therefore, tan beta is correct, or we take cos beta by sin beta. We have to prove that u is given by this. So we consider cos beta by sin beta, dividing this, we get u cos alpha upon u sin alpha minus half gt. This is cos beta by sin beta. Correct? Cos beta by sin beta is this. Now I simplify further like this. How to simplify? Cos beta by sin beta is therefore sin beta is 2u cos alpha divided by 2u sin alpha minus gt. This is simplified now, 2 LCM, and this 2 goes to numerator. 2u cos alpha by 2u sin alpha minus gt. Therefore, now u we have to find out, and if you solve this, you will get u that was required. What do you have to prove? Initial velocity with which this particle is projected, you have to find out u, and you have to prove that u is given by this. Let me see whether it is possible to get this u or u is this. For that, only simplification is left now. 2u sin alpha cos beta minus 2u sin alpha cos beta minus cos beta, 2u sin alpha cos beta minus gt cos beta is equal to 2u cos alpha sin beta. Cos alpha sin beta. Now we simplify further like this. 2u common, sin alpha cos beta minus, this I transpose to left hand side. 2u common here, sin alpha cos beta minus cos alpha sin beta is equal to gt cos beta. How do you get this type? From this, 2u taken common, sin alpha cos beta minus cos alpha sin beta is gt cos beta. So we get the answer almost. Therefore 2u, what is this? Sin alpha minus beta, sin a cos b minus cos a sin b is gt cos beta. Therefore u is gt cos beta upon 2u sin alpha minus beta. So this is u. I think this problem was not at all a difficult one, but from examination point of view, all these problems are important. Usually I solve problems which are important from examination point of view only. Because randomly some problem is given from projectile or any topic on dynamics, it is not so easy to solve the problem. Because in the examination you will have a limited time. In that time you have to solve the problem means, first once solved problem can be, you can attempt only solved example. That means if you solve the many problems, lot of examples, then in that example, if you have problem from that only, you can solve in the examination. Now, what I mean to say is totally unexpected problem or unseen problem, totally that you have not seen at all, that problem is asked in the examination. It is difficult to solve that one in the stipulated time. Next, one important result here, for a given range, horizontal range, with a given velocity, there are two angles of projection. Two angles of projection. Direction for range. I take this as directions for a range. Say, suppose u is the velocity of projection and r is the range. R is the range. Then for this range, r is the range, u be the velocity of projection. Then for the same range with this velocity u, there is another angle. Suppose alpha is this angle. Then if the particle is projected with velocity pi by 2 minus alpha, then also you will get same range. You followed what I told? The concept is like this. Suppose u be the velocity of projection, it is fixed, and to get the same range r, there will be two angles of projections. One is alpha and another is pi by 2 minus alpha. This alpha is the angle of projection, velocity is u, you will get the range r. If u remains same, that is velocity of projection remains same, and angle becomes pi by 2 minus alpha, then also you will get same horizontal range. Therefore, for a given horizontal range with velocity u, there are two directions. One is alpha, another is pi by 2 minus alpha. And this you have studied, that is pi by 4, for angle of projection pi by 4, we get the maximum height. Now this is alpha and pi by 2 minus alpha give same horizontal range with velocity u. This must be fixed here. U is fixed. For given velocity u, alpha and pi by 2 minus alpha give same horizontal range. To prove this, horizontal ranges, I take this as r, 2u sin alpha by g, or is it correct? Horizontal range is not 2u sin alpha, u square sin 2 alpha by g, correct? Horizontal range is u square sin 2 alpha by g, correct? It is u square sin 2 into pi by 2 minus alpha upon g. Use trigonometry here. Mathematically we prove this. 2 sin, because pi by 2 sin pi by 2 minus alpha is 1 minute. It is not like this. It is sin of 2 alpha can be written as 2 into, correct? Or I write sin of pi minus 2 alpha. Now it is correct. Say what I am going to prove is this alpha and pi by 2 minus alpha give same horizontal range. I start with r. Horizontal range is given by this, but using trigonometry, Sin theta is same as sin pi by 2 minus theta. So it is u square by g sin of 2 into pi by 2 minus alpha. Correct? 2 into pi by 2 minus alpha. It is therefore u square by g sin 2 beta, where beta is pi by 2 minus alpha. Now what do you get? Horizontal range is u square sin 2 alpha by g. It is also same as u square sin 2 beta by g. But what is beta? Pi by 2 minus alpha. Therefore, this alpha and pi by 2 minus alpha give same horizontal range when the particle is projected with initial velocity u. That alpha and pi by 2 minus alpha give same horizontal range. Remember, this is an important concept. Based on this, see the problem. I dictate. The problem is like this. Two bodies are projected from the same point with the same velocity but in different directions. Two bodies are projected from the same point with the same velocity but in different directions. If the range in each case is capital R, range in each case is capital R, and the time of flights be t and t dash, prove that R is equal to half into g t dash. What is given here? Two bodies are projected from the same point with the same velocity but in different directions. Range is R. See, the problem is two bodies are projected from the same point with same velocity but in different directions. Range is same here, capital R. Time of flights are t and t dash. T and t dash, they are different. Prove that R is half g t dash. For this, for two bodies are projected, one body, what is given here? Same velocity. U be the velocity of projection, alpha be the angle of projection. Alpha be angle of projection for one particle. Then what do you get? Horizontal range for one. Then time of flight. I take time of flight is 2u sin alpha upon g. I take this as t. This is t. And for the second body, u is same, velocity of projection, and beta be the angle of projection. Then what is beta? Beta is nothing but pi by 2 minus alpha, because to get the same projection, that means same horizontal range, the angle of projection must be same, that is pi by 2 minus alpha, where u is the velocity of projection. Therefore, time of flight t dash is 2u sin pi by 2 minus alpha upon g. It is therefore 2u, what is this? Cos alpha upon g. 2u cos alpha upon g. Correct? Now I consider this. Now this is given. T is 2u sin alpha by g. T dash is 2u cos alpha by g. Because for the second body, angle of projection is different. What is that? Pi by 2 minus alpha. To get the same range, angle of projection must be pi by 2 minus alpha. Therefore, I consider half t dash. It is equal to half t dash is half g t dash. Half g t dash is 2u sin alpha by g into 2u cos alpha by g. 1 g cancels, 1 2 cancels. We get 2u square sin alpha cos alpha upon g. I write this as u square sin 2 alpha upon g, because 2 sin alpha cos alpha is sin 2 alpha. U square sin 2 alpha by g, this is nothing but r. You know the expression for horizontal range is u square sin 2 alpha by g. Therefore, half t dash is r. I think solution is clear. All have followed this solution. Can I take next one more problem here? I think that is possible in this video. I can complete one more solution for one more problem. See, the problem is like this. A particle is projected under gravity with velocity u in a direction making an angle alpha with the horizontal. Show that the amount of deviation d after time t in the direction of motion of the particle is given by tan d is gt cos alpha by, if d is the amount of deviation, then it is given by tan d is gt cos alpha by u minus gt sin alpha. Now understand what is the problem now. Suppose this is the path of the projectile, and what is given here? Alpha be the angle of projection, u be the velocity of projection. Suppose after time t, the particle is at p. After time t, particle is at p. Now, at p, what is the velocity of projection? At p, what is the velocity? Velocity is always along the tangent. We have to take horizontal through this p, and this is velocity. Suppose it is projection velocity of at the point p makes an angle beta, and v be the velocity. After time t, v is the velocity, and since velocity is along the tangent always to the curve, beta is velocity of projection at this point. Velocity of projection, or the direction made angle made by the direction of velocity with horizontal is beta at p. At p, this velocity makes an angle beta. Now, what do you have to prove now? Now, suppose this is the d, amount of deviation. What is the amount of deviation? Amount of deviation is alpha minus beta, because suppose this is the horizontal, right? This is the horizontal. Then what is this angle? This complete angle is alpha, and this is beta. Amount of deviation is d. Correct? This is the amount of deviation. Is it correct? Amount of deviation. And this amount of deviation is alpha minus beta. Am I correct here? This is beta. Correct? Beta. And this is alpha. Alpha, beta. And what is d? Amount of deviation means difference between these two angles. Alpha minus beta is the amount of deviation. Now, is it this angle is d here? It is deviated. Yes, it is deviated through this angle, but this angle is alpha minus beta. So, amount of deviation is alpha minus beta, and d is therefore alpha minus beta. And what you have to prove? Tan d is given by this. Therefore, we start with this. Suppose after time t, p be the position of the particle, and direction of motion at particle at P is inclined at an angle beta to the horizontal and V be the velocity. The deviation D is angle between the tangents at O and P. It is alpha minus beta, therefore D is equal to alpha minus beta. This is 1. Now we use this, since horizontal velocity is same throughout the motion. Horizontal velocity is same. What is horizontal velocity? U cos beta is V cos beta. V cos beta is U cos alpha. Correct? This is 2. And what is vertical motion or vertical component of the motion? V sin beta is, it is U sin alpha minus gt. This is 3. First thing is, amount of deviation is difference between the angles made by the tangents at O and P, that is alpha minus beta. Now we take horizontal and vertical components of velocity. V cos beta is U cos alpha, it remains same. V sin beta is U sin alpha minus gt. Now we consider 3 by 2. 3 by 2 gives tan beta is it is tan alpha minus gt by U cos alpha. Correct? Tan beta is sin beta by cos beta. Tan alpha minus, what do you get? Tan beta is sin by cos U sin alpha minus gt by U cos alpha. So it is tan alpha minus gt by U cos alpha. Therefore, I take tan alpha minus tan beta is gt by U cos alpha. This is 4. Now come to this problem now. What is that? Tan d we have to prove. Tan d is from 1. Tan d is tan alpha minus tan beta upon 1 plus tan alpha into tan beta. And what is the answer? It must be in terms of alpha. Means you have to eliminate beta from this. If you eliminate beta from this, for that you can use 4 and this also, tan beta and tan alpha minus tan beta. We directly substitute tan alpha minus tan beta and tan beta. So problem is over here. If you substitute tan beta here, this value, tan alpha minus beta, this value, you will get this tan d. Tan alpha minus tan beta is gt by U cos alpha 1 plus tan alpha into, what is tan beta? Tan beta is U sin alpha minus gt upon U cos alpha. This beta is eliminated now. Beta is eliminated and you will get, simplifying, you will get the answer. How to simplify? Gt by U cos alpha divided by, what is the answer in terms of sin and cos? Therefore, it is 1 plus how do you simplify? 1 plus, or I simplify like this, taking LCM, U cos alpha plus U sin alpha into tan alpha minus gt tan alpha divided by U cos alpha. Therefore, gt by U cos alpha plus, what is the answer? Gt cos alpha by U gt by sin alpha, correct? Yes, gt by U cos alpha plus U sin square alpha by cos alpha minus gt sin alpha by cos alpha. Simplification only. Problem is already solved here. Only simplification left. Gt cos alpha divided by u cos square alpha plus u sin square alpha minus gt sin alpha. Therefore, gt cos alpha by u plus or u minus gt sin alpha, that is amount of deviation d is given by this. I think solution all have followed, and some more problems are left. I take that in the next video. Okay, thank you.